Aliens are running Mira HQ! Sorry, that sounds crazy. But it is true though, aliens are running Mira HQ. It's just saying it like that makes it sound crazy, you know? Since the release of the new Among Us series, a lot of people have been roped into the mystery of the show, figuring out who the true imposters are. But the mystery I want to solve is why they're on this ship to begin with, and it's not to collect fuel. From the start of the show, the Mira company seems shady, and it only gets more suspicious as time goes on. The crewmates have been sent on a death mission. Mira knows this, and they don't care. Let's just say their goals don't align with humanity. In fact, I'm willing to believe that this isn't just some random accident, but almost the blueprint for what's meant to happen every time the crewmates board a ship. And today, I'm going to prove it to you. But before we do that, please do subscribe. It's free and you can always unsubscribe later. Subscribing is the best way to support my channel, as it allows me to make more videos and helps me reach more milestones. I really want to hit 400k soon, and we get closer and closer to that milestone each day. So if you could just check to see that you are subscribed, that would be great. Thank you, and back to the video. Okay, spoilers if you haven't seen the show. We start off with 11 crewmates. Well, 10 crewmates and a contest winner. Their job is to transport ore plus from asteroids over to Industria, where it can be used as a fuel source. However, after puncturing a hole in the ship, this causes one of the ores to crack. Unbeknownst to the crewmates, the ore plus are actually alien eggs, and after it broke open, one of the parasites got out and took over at least one of the crewmates. Rest of the series is spent figuring out who the imposter is and hopefully kicking them out of the ship before they kill everyone. By the end of the series, it's revealed that Green and Orange were the imposters, as Red and Purple worked together to take down Green, who was the only imposter left. Eagle-eyed viewers have pointed out that we could see the exact moment the alien parasite latched onto Green and Orange. The real question is, why would Mira do this? Why would they transport alien eggs without telling their crew so they can plan accordingly? Are you telling me that they've done this multiple times, yet this is the first time something like this has happened? I'm not convinced, and neither should you be, because even the Among Us Twitter account says that every game of Among Us is canon. Now, I'm not one to take a Twitter post for canon, but it is interesting to think about. This exact scenario has happened multiple times. Every time they leave alien eggs out in the open on ships, every time it seems like at least one of the crewmates gets used as a host. It's almost like it's intentional. Let's talk about the mission as a whole. Transporting ore plus to Industria. Simple, right? But for a company that's meant to be focused on the discovery of new life on different planets, surely they're not just transporting rocks without having studied them a bit. I mean, they've had to have looked into this ore for more than a second and found that they're actually aliens, right? Well, maybe the company knows, but the crewmates don't know a thing. They just believe it to be regular space rocks. In fact, Ore Plus seems to be more valuable to Mira HQ than the actual crewmates, which doesn't make any sense if it's just fuel to burn. So clearly there's something more to that. But then why would Mira send up multiple crews without telling them when they know that there are aliens on this ship that could possibly kill them? Especially when they're kept in such an enclosed space such as a ship. The crewmates would have nowhere to run. Surely human life isn't that expendable, right? At first I thought clones. All the crewmates are clones. The fact that all the crewmates are the same height, weight, and I believe blood type can't be a coincidence. It would make sense as to why they're expendable, because while Mira HQ can remake the crewmates, they can't afford to lose any of their cargo. But when seeing all the crewmates interact, it seems they've had lives outside this one. Ones that clearly wouldn't correlate if they're all clones of the same person. So that theory kind of falls through. And then I really thought about it. Do they need all these people? Surely not all of them are necessary from simply moving ore from point A to point B. Or maybe I missed the part where NASA announced that the Artemis 3 crew would also have a HR representative, 2 cooks, an unpaid intern, a janitor, a security guard, and even a vacation winner. The point is, when it comes to space travel, you only take what's necessary. You can't afford to waste resources on random people. A lot of them don't even feel qualified enough to be handling a space mission. Even the captain of the ship seems incompetent to what they're doing, having to turn to the manual every time they pilot it. So what if they're there for an alternative reason. These aren't meant to be astronauts. They're sent to be potential host bodies. Mira sent these people, regardless of qualifications, up onto the ship with no interest in their survival. In fact, actively rooting against it. They are hoping that when the eggs hatch, they will latch onto one of the crewmates' bodies and survive that way. The company doesn't care about people because Mira isn't ran by people. At least not anymore. I believe that at least one of the higher-ups who worked at Mira have been replaced by imposters. Mira is able to lure people into being crewmates, with the promise of space travel and pizza parties, creating unnecessary large ships not for the prime task of transporting cargo, but to fit as many crewmates on as possible. Which also explains why Mira is more than happy to allow a contest winner onto a ship that was purely meant for transporting materials, because the crewmates are the real cargo. But then why? Why do all this? Well, when we find the alien eggs, they're abandoned on meteorites. We also know that they are parasitic creatures. Look at one without a human host, they're just a tiny little worm guy. It's a little pathetic to say the least. So when they hatch, they have to be around other people or animals. There's no organic matter other than them on these asteroids. Without any hosts, they're weak and likely die out in space. So it's clear that these eggs were never meant to be on the asteroids because without our intervention, they would stay there and die. But then, why are they there in the first place? Well, could it be possible that the aliens' home planet has been destroyed, leaving nothing but broken pieces of rubble drifting through space along with the eggs that remain of their species? That's what these meteorites are, the remains of a destroyed planet. When we look at what Mira HQ was built to do, it was clear that they're there to study life beyond Earth, including any mysterious alien rocks that would come from meteorites. At least that was their goal in the early days. Do you see what I'm getting at here? All it would take would be for one alien egg to hatch, one researcher to get replaced overnight. If they're not found out, then they could take over Mira HQ as a whole. Since they're now in charge, they can shift the focus away from research about alien life to collecting the eggs back from their home planet, under the guise of using them for fuel. And they will send as many crewmates as they can to make sure their species has enough viable hosts. Because they don't care about the crewmates, they don't care about humanity. All they care about is saving their species. But they need to make sure the crewmates don't get smart and figure it out. And what better way to do that than putting an alien already on the ship to begin with. Hence our favourite HR representative, Orange. Orange is and always has been one of the imposters. Don't believe me? So many people have talked about this specific scene where both Orange and Green fall next to the alien parasite, but we can see only one of those parasites, and in this moment it would make more sense to have attached onto Green. Orange was a loyal employee to the company, but after being replaced, the imposter resembles that tenfold. It makes sense that Orange doesn't try and kill anyone, except Lime when it seemed necessary, because Orange knows that these are going to be host bodies for the next lot of alien parasites. Green, however, only got replaced that day. They are a child in comparison, who does end up going on a rampage because it's their instinct to kill. And frankly, Green doesn't seem too keen on sharing. They don't know their species is nearing extinction. It's like trying to get a toddler to share their toys. Killing crewmates is arguably more fun than letting other parasites take control of them. The way you can tell Orange has been an imposter longer is just by the way both of them act. While both of them seem to mimic the previous crewmate's personality, when looking back you can see Green clearly do it in a more mocking way than Orange does. Orange has been tricking these crewmates for years. They know how to play into the character, whereas Green believes all the crewmates are stupid and goes out of their way to play the character as stupidly as possible because they know that no one will call them out on it. Throughout the show, we often wonder who should get the blame for this whole situation, but the truth is, it was an alien-ran operation from the beginning. Even if they made it to Industria, those eggs were gonna hatch and they were going to look for hosts. And honestly, I don't think Mira would be too happy with the fact that Purple and Red decided to dump the eggs by the end of the show. As far as Mira sees it, those eggs are more valuable than all of the crewmates combined. So if we get a second season, I would love to see how that's going to play out when they return back to Mira HQ. And I wonder what's going to be waiting for them. But what do you guys think? Are we on something here? Thank you guys so much for watching. These videos are always fun for me to make, so it's great to know that you guys enjoy them as well. Thank you to my members. Once again, your support for this channel is why I can continue to make videos, and I appreciate it so much. But if you can't be a member, that's okay. I'm so thankful to everyone who subscribed. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!